All right, great. All right, well, hello, Monday for creators, everybody. We're here on our live webinar. We take a deep look into certain creators to understand their success, obstacles, hurdles, and just to really create, learn, and earn for all the creators out there who are part of our community. So today we have a really special guest, Yemi A.D. So hello and welcome.
Hello, hi.
We're so happy to have you here with us today. But first of all, everybody, for a little background about For Creators, be sure to go on. You can go on to our website, forcreators.com. You can download our app and then also check out our YouTube channel where you can subscribe and you can see replays of our webinars. And then you can also see other informational videos and be part of the community there as well. So when you go there, be sure to check out our Spotlight for Creators. And then it also has a lot of deep dives into several different platforms like we're going to be talking about today with ClubHouse. So you can really learn, grow, connect, and we really do a big emphasis on how to monetize as well from all your creations. So today, of course, I'm hosting Monday for Creators Live. And a little bit about me. I am Chicago-based. My name is Laura Swan-Polina, and I am a journalist and host and comedian. So really what I love, though, is to just learn people's stories and learn from other people and connect with that as well. So I'm happy to be here and be hosting this today. But without further ado, let's talk about you, Yemi. We're so excited to have Yemi here today. He is going to take a deep dive with us on ClubHouse. So ClubHouse is a brand new app. If you don't know anything about it, you're in the right place. If you are currently using it, you're also in the right place because we're going to really take a deep dive on how to really grow your brand using ClubHouse. Now, Yemi has over 7,000 followers. I think last I checked, it was 7,440 followers today. So yeah, so it's growing. I mean, I think when I checked last week, it was like 6,000. So you're really just having like an explosion on there, which is awesome. So, all right, so back to who Yemi is. Well, he's a multidisciplinary creative and founder of JAD Productions. Did I say that correct? JAD?
Yes.
Okay. All right, great. So he started off as a choreographer and studied at some of the best places all around the world. His work can also be seen in places like Kanye West's music video Runaway, which is just a brilliant, amazing. The choreography in that is just like so brilliant and amazing. I love it. You've also worked with other large brands like Coca-Cola and Google and T-Mobile, and all while focusing on helping others and giving back to his community. You have a nonprofit dance academy in Prague, and then also really expanding into establishing educational programs in Nigeria, correct? Because you're also Nigerian born. Okay, and then you also launched.
It's my father is from Nigeria. I was born in Czech Republic in the 80s, but my father is from Ibadan.
Yes, so you're really involved in both of the communities, correct?
I'm trying to be.
Okay, great. Well, and you recently launched Moonshot. So we're just so happy to have you here today and to chat about using ClubHouse. But so why people want to hear what you have to say on ClubHouse too is important. So why don't you give us a little background, about yourself and what you're up to?
So thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here. It doesn't happen very often that I'm talking for audience in the United States, even though I'm studying in the United States. I have got a scholarship at Henry Crown Fellowship, which is like a leadership academy under Aspen Institute. So I go to the United States a lot, and I've been working there mostly for Kanye West between 2010 and 2015. But also when I was 18, when I started to have desire to become a choreographer, I had to go to Los Angeles because in Czech Republic it was not possible to get like a license to become a choreographer of street dance because we had only ballet and folklore and so on. So I'm very connected to, I have many friends there, people I call family in the States. So I'm very happy to be able to talk about some topics close to the United States. So otherwise, I started as a dancer, and then I became choreographer, after I became director, I directed several music videos, some short movies or commercials. We got some awards for that. Then I founded a production company, so we did conferences around the world, in Singapore, in New York, conferences about science, about economics, about social media. Then I also started to do digital advertising with campaigns that were awarded for Mercedes-Benz, for Adidas Originals. And then I also was named the Goodwill Ambassador of Czech Republic by the government. This was last year. And I'm trying to share values and art and business and try to use what I know about different cultures. And my biggest passion is fusion. So bringing together and combining things that maybe other people wouldn't think of combine. And that's what I did in the dance. You could see it in Runaway, it's like hip hop and ballet, but I also do it across different disciplines. So also inside of those conferences, also inside of advertising, and now most recently inside of the Moonshot platform, which is the most recent project that we launched last year in September in Washington. And we will also launch it here in Czech Republic in March this year.
Nice, nice. And what, I mean, we can get a little bit more into Moonshot too, but the Moonshot platform is really to also kind of do that fusion as far as like issues that are important to you right now.
With everything that's happening around the world, I decided that I want to spend my time in solving the problems, not causing the problems. And I realized that today you are either on the side of the problem or on the side of the solution. And there is no space in between, because I think the biggest trouble is that there are too many bystanders who believe that they are not part of the process, but it's not true, because even if we are a bystander, you are actually causing the problem, because you somehow participating in the ecosystem. So that's why I decided I will now focus on impact-driven ventures, game-changing leaders, and we create this digital environment for them to be able to accelerate their work and to give them their ability to grow and focus on SDG, Sustainable Development Goals under United Nations, and simply just do impact beyond profit.
Okay, yes, I love that. Okay, and also for everyone listening live, I want to let you guys know you can go ahead and write any questions you may have in the chat box. So write your questions here as we're chatting. So we want you guys to be participants as well as viewers. So we really want to engage with you. Write your questions here in the chat. So if you do have those questions come up, let us know. We'll do our best to answer them as we're chatting. And then if we don't get to them, we will definitely address them before the end of the webinar here. So, okay, well, I love what you're doing. Let's jump into the basics of ClubHouse. So I was reading ClubHouse started in March of 2020, but it really didn't take off as big as it has been in the past recent months. So let's first of all just talk about what ClubHouse is and how to use it. So the basics of ClubHouse, if someone's never even heard of it.
It's just before we get into what it is, the reason why you haven't heard of it is because it is using very, very smart way how to acquire new audience, because everybody who comes in the ClubHouse only gets 2 invitations to share with their friends, which is very smart because it will give you an exponential growth. So in the beginning, it's just 2 people becomes 4, 4 people becomes 8, 8 people becomes 16. And until you are in these small nominations, like small numbers, it's just little. But then there is this curve, this exponential curve, and that's what we are experiencing now. That then 1 million people becomes 2 million people, becomes 4 million people, becomes 8. And that's what's happening now. That's why the growth in ClubHouse is not something like when you had a TikTok in the beginning, and if you would place the same video on Instagram and it would have, I don't know, 1,000 views, you would put it on TikTok and it would have 20,000 views. So this is also like very fresh network. And it's beautiful to experience the atmosphere there, because it feels like, because I'm like European and so I haven't been there when Facebook had 2-3 months old, you know, in the very beginning, when it was clean of all the haters and clean of the politics, and it was just like pure, you know, people just communicating. And that's what's happening in Clubhouse now, and it's beautiful to experience that, because no corporations yet are in it, and it's not polluted, you know, the space. Otherwise, what it is. So Clubhouse is drop-in audio chat. What it means is you have an environment where you don't like anything, you don't comment anything, you don't write anything. You just enter rooms where people talk to each other. And the room is structured in 2 different ways. There is a stage. So when you are on the stage, you can be heard. When you are in the audience, your microphone is muted. You can also mute your microphone when you are on the stage, but that's then up to you. If you come into the room and you are interested in what's being said, if the topic is close to your heart, of course, when you enter the program, you choose. You want to follow cryptocurrency, or you want to follow social media, or you want to follow marketing or startup community, in what language you choose all that. So then the algorithm chooses for you what to offer you, what will be on your homepage, and you enter these rooms. If you feel like you have something to say or you want to ask something, you raise your hand, and then on the stage there are either speakers or moderators. And the moderators have ability to bring you from the audience to the stage, and you can ask your questions, and then they bring you back to the audience. Or sometimes they keep you on the stage for the rest of the time because maybe they just want to continue chatting with you.
Okay, so for all of our attendees, I put up a poll. Do you currently use Clubhouse? So if you guys want to go on there and just write yes or no, let us know if you're currently using it. And then I'll let you guys know out of the 5 attendees who all's using it and who's not. Okay, so I'm going to do the screen share right now of the different themes. So we can talk about that just as I showed real quick to kind of give you an idea. All right, so you see that there? So tell us about that, kind of like once you're, okay, so now you've been invited to Clubhouse. You then can see all your, if you know people on there, or if you, whatever interest. So you go to this explore page. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Clubhouse is going to synchronize your address book, if you let it, with their data. And most of the time, you will already know that maybe 20% of your friends in your phone are already in it. Now, when you enter it, you can also invite people who are not in it yet, but you don't have to. When you enter through, you can choose from these topics that you see on the screen, from world affairs and politics to just hanging out, or tech community, or entertainment. And then inside of these topics, there are also subtopics. So you can go really like deep and specify what is it that interests you.
Okay, great. And then why don't you talk a little bit about, so you can jump in and out of rooms that come up. And I've noticed as well as a brand new user, and by the way, it looks like 100% of you guys are currently using Clubhouse, so that's great. But as a new user, I would go on there and explore. And then, like you said, I would then get updates from people who've created a room for maybe, 5 days from now, but said, hey, this is going to happen at 5 p.m. So I would get that update. And then can you like put it on your calendar, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's so you choose who you follow. The Clubhouse in the beginning will choose for you to follow, let's say, first 100 people. And these 100 people will be decided by the algorithm based on your selections. Like you want to do crypto, so they will pick somebody from your region who is on the same time zone and who is speaking the same language to follow for crypto. And then you can, as you enter, you can start following more people. So now, if someone who you follow either starts a room or becomes a speaker in the room, even though he or she may not start the room, but just like come in the room, become a speaker, the Clubhouse is gonna notify you. It's not gonna notify you like with a sound or with something disturbing. The way it's done is kind of cool. It doesn't disturb you. It's not like new message, entering your phone. It's either if the app is opened, it will pop out that some room is with friends that you know, or you can go into the calendar in the Clubhouse, and you can see all the names of the rooms and all the topics of the rooms from morning till the evening. So you can choose what you want to attend. Most of the time, all the time, 24/7, there is somebody talking. There are even rooms where people never leave.
Yeah.
they are always there. I saw rooms when they were doing a therapy. We were doing therapy. People who had trauma from the childhood were sharing in a room of 300 people, and then they were trying to get them rid of their traumas and stuff. It was very interesting. Like, so far, I'm seeing it's very peaceful. It's very friendly and positive. And there are like nasty rooms that are speaking about dating and sex and all things like that. And then there are some like serious rooms when they are discussing how to earn money and what investments you should make. And then there are like well-being rooms when people discuss fitness, or maybe there are even coaches who are coaching you and you can train while listening to Clubhouse. There is all different kind of genres.
I think my experience, although limited so far, has been that it's a very like safe place, and you can go there and listen and participate. And I was in a room once, and there weren't that many people there, maybe like 5, and the speaker called on me. And I was kind of like, oh no, I don't want to talk. But, they were just so friendly and made it like easy for me to participate. And even though I had only been there for a little bit, I actually didn't really know what they were talking about. So I was like, oh, this is what I'm thinking. And this is what I'm, wondering or curious to know about the room. And they were really friendly. So it's been a safe place to kind of go and chat. And so that's been a good example, because I think so much social media right now has become a little
very, very hostile. And that's why I think also a Clubhouse has this one strike policy. You can only do one mistake and you are going to be banned for life.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it's very strict. One thing is they only allow people 18-year-old and plus.
Okay.
They do not allow any minors. And then they do this strike policy. The reason is because it's not easy for their computers to be able to scan spoken word. If you insult someone, or if you so how do you gonna find out? So they can only record as much. So if you don't claim that someone has been hostile or someone did something wrong against the policies, they can then go back and they can scan it. The computer can listen if there is profanity or something, but they can only do so much. So if they know that somebody is crossing the line, they immediately ban the person, and you can't come back.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of cool, because I think other social media maybe almost give too much room for things like that.
Oh yes.
For people being aggressive to other people, which I think it's not the reason why we go to social media.
Right. Exactly. So speaking of that, then I want to talk a little bit more about how to create a room and who can do it. And then you said there's creating a room and then creating a club. So can you tell us the differences of a room and a club? And then we'll talk about like growing your following.
So when you want to start a room, you have 3 options. One option is to start a room that is open for everyone. Second option is to start a room that's open only for your friends. And third option is to start a room that's locked and it's invitation only. You only like invite people. So I show you. So these are the three options. Yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
Then in this room, it's like sometimes so the biggest thing, if you're a creator, so this is for creators. So hopefully people who are listening to this are creators. So it's always that one thing like, okay, I'm going to start a room, but is anybody going to be interested in what I have to say? Is my topic interesting? Is it? And why do I do it? Do I really have something to say, or do I just want to sell something? Or do I want to start a community? and then what's my motivation? So
Sure.
you have to answer to yourself all these questions. So what I did, I have 2 different rooms and 2 different clubs. One is about arts, about creativity, about future creativity, and it's from artists for artists with artists. The other room is the Moonshot Society, and that's to build community around impact-driven organizations and about things that are beyond profit. Everything like what do we do that's more important than profit. So that's the topic. One room is every Saturday, one room is every Sunday. And it's always 5:55, yeah. So that's like about when the sun is setting. Here in Europe, of course, everywhere in the world is setting in a different time. So this is about the rooms. The first time I did it, I was nervous because I was thinking, exactly, maybe nobody is gonna come. So what you need to do is you need to start the room ahead of time. You can also start a room like now and just open it and just have somebody. Maybe if you use really interesting quote or interesting headline, people are just gonna come because they're interested into the headline. But then you need to fulfill that promise that you do with your headline. So I did it ahead of time, and in my first room I had about 100 people, and I said ask. The name of the room was ask, and then every weekend I did ask, and then the topic, like ask future of creativity, ask creative transformation, ask something. So this told the people, okay, this is a room where I am gonna be needing asking questions. I will be asked to come on stage. I will be active. And then some people like it, some people don't like it. So by this you will determine what type of people are gonna be in the room. So don't hesitate, try it. It's like losing virginity when you do it for the first time, because it's really like first time I did it, I didn't understand why, because I was a TV host and I worked in showbiz for 20 years. So I should not be stressed or have trauma from this. But I was sweating. I was sweating just because there is some adrenaline combined with it. When you have a room and you have 500 people who are listening to what you say, it's the same like when you are in a conference, you stay on the stage and there is 500 people in the audience. I know if you know, probably you know because you also do comedy, how much adrenaline is coming to you, and this is very similar. So I think it's great for your training. It's great to become confident. It's also great to carve your topics. When you want to talk to people. Does your topic resonate with your audience? Now you have a great chance to test it. Maybe when you are a writer, you can have a book, you can have a reading of a book, you can have a reading of a script, you can talk to people what they think. Maybe you have an issue with marketing, you want to ask people for advice. This can be used as a great tool for crowdsourcing ideas, crowdsourcing development. But it can be also used for brand building, for community building, for strategy that is combined to your business, combined to your brand.
So I love that. It is an interesting medium, all audio. You don't have a picture. You don't have to have your hair and makeup done. And it is an interesting medium that, I used to speak in front of huge crowds as a live presenter at auto shows, and I just would feed off of the audience. But like you said, kind of like the platform of getting on and just talking to your phone and thinking, okay, are people going to like it? Or are people going to be listening to me? Is completely different, which some people may feel more comfortable with, and some people may feel a little awkward about. But like you said, once you do it once or twice, you're probably going to feel a little bit more comfortable. So
I think the worst feeling is that you don't have the feedback. It's like all these video conferences when you are talking, when you are in a room with people, they can giggle, they can go they can do anything, looking like they want to fall asleep. Then you need to raise your voice or something. There is a constant back and forth in energy. In the clubhouse, there are some rooms where people on the stage don't switch off their microphones. It's never muted. So you get this hum, you get this like expressions, breathing and stuff. It's interesting for some kind of room. Maybe if it's a room where you should make jokes and fun, you need to have the microphone open because you don't want to switch off your mute mode for you to laugh, because it's not natural. So that's the worst thing. But you get used to it, as we got all used to the Zooms and all these video conferencing.
Right. I was listening to one the other day, and this guy was speaking, and his kids were in the background. They were like, well, this is just life now. It's not perfect. You hear these things happening. So in your experience, when you've created those rooms, have you seen the following grow as your following grows as well? And, people are showing up to the room and participating more. How have you seen the journey of all that as you've created these and stayed consistent with them?
So I think it's very important not to hunt the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a number hunter, like you are just focused on that performance, on that conversion, on that like growing, it will fire back because you will focus on, I think it's on the wrong thing. Like with me, when I did it, I really focused on the quality, not the quantity. So I did topics that I really was sure about what I'm talking about. I gave room to the people. I never want to sound like I know everything and my truth is the truth you all need to believe. It's like always leave room for people to have different opinions if you are willing to share the stage with other people, because there are rooms where there is maybe only two people having conversation and they don't invite anybody else on the stage. This is also okay. There are no rules, you make the rules. But I think for the best thing for growing the following is to stick to your topic and do repeat the things in time on a regular basis. So set your time, set your days of the week or day of the week, and just come back, and your audience is gonna come back. Also, the branding. When you come up with your name, whether it's with emoji or just the text, just stick to something that the people are gonna associate sound of your voice with the name of your room, with the emoji that you're gonna use, with the time of the day. Just recently on Sunday we had this discussion about Moonshot, and the topic was Staronová generace. In Czech it means old new generation or new old generation, but old new is like one word. It was very interesting debate. This was about the generational disparity, how people don't understand each other, and how if we want to do impact, we need to do it together.
Sure.
And then there was a guy who was 70 years old who raised hands and come on the stage, and he was like, you know what? I tell you, you all startup community and tech people, you speak here. If I bring my younger friend, my 50 or 60 years old friend, he won't understand half of what you say. So if you want to bring people together, first thing you need to do is you need to come down on the same ground and use the same language so everybody can. This was super valuable. But then just few minutes after, we had a very special guest, Jan Bednář, who have found a company called Shipmunk. It is evaluated for $700 million. He started from scratch with no investment, and it's not even a revolutionary idea. It was sending packages between US and Europe. So he's helping businesses to be like what Amazon is doing or others are doing, but without have to this infrastructure. And he was in Florida, and it was morning, and we were talking about such a deep topics, and he was just having a morning, and it didn't fit, and he was like, wow, this is so deep, and it's just a Sunday morning here. So it's also important what part of the day you're gonna discuss what topic, and if is it the weekend topic or is it the week of the day topic?
Uh-huh. Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah. So people can kind of like mentally align when they're there to say,
Uh-huh.
okay, I want to join in and be part of this right now. That's interesting though, also that you had that such like rich feedback from somebody who you wouldn't have necessarily connected with without Clubhouse. So it does seem like it just can create, like bring so many people together. Also, it's worldwide too.
Exactly. I'm gonna be soon switching into English because I wanted to start it in Czech because Czech is my mother tongue, but I have so many friends around the world, and I'm starting to feel pressure when they are like writing me and talking. It's like, oh, when are you gonna switch to English? Like, we want to participate. So I'm gonna switch to English soon. But again, I'm a little bit like frightened because you're gonna lose a lot of audience. And you're gonna gain a lot of audience, but I'm kind of feeling sad because I don't want to lose audience, but language is always a barrier. But not lose audience because of the numbers, but I don't want to lose them because there are some interesting people who were adding a lot of substance into what we were talking about. It's very funny that normally in the real world, when people raise their hand or they come to you, they want to talk to you about something, maybe 50% of time it's really cool opinion or question, and 50% of time it's just people who wanna be heard or who just wanna go get close to you, but it's not really relevant.
Yeah.
In Clubhouse, 90% of the people, maybe even 95% of the people who come on the stage because they raise their hand, it's like epic. It's like they always say something so profound, and they are like there are things that are stunning, the way what people tell, and maybe it's that barrier or that filter that those people who are ready to raise a hand, they really have something cool to say, and I love that because there is a substance and there is a good quality. I didn't answer your one question, and that is how to start club.
Okay.
Because the room and the club are two different things, and I just want to explain this. The club is not a feature that you can start it by yourself. The Clubhouse is gonna introduce that feature later this year, but for now they have a condition that they will put front of the line the people who ask for the club who already held at least 3 weekly rooms. Oh. So once you do, let's say Sunday 5:55, one Sunday, 2 Sunday, 3rd Sunday, you can ask for club. You can ask even before, but they will always put first the people who have done this procedure, like do it 3 times. And you can start, I think, 1, maximum 2 clubs at this moment. Okay. And the way to do it is you need to go into frequently asked questions, go into the topic of the club, and then click on a link when they say here. And it takes you to a different site where you have to fill in the form and apply for it, and then they will let you know back within weeks. So right now it's not an option that you can do it easily. Just start. Not everybody can do it. There is a scoring that you need to go under in order to get your club.
So what exactly is the difference of a club versus a room? Is it an established weekly theme, or what exactly is the difference there?
Yes, the club is, let's say, Black founders, and it would be or startup club, it's people, and then also in the club you can either participate as a member of the club, or you can follow the club, or you can be founder of the club. So these are 3 things. You can follow the club, but you don't have to participate to be member of the club. So this gives you more ability to communicate with the people, explain them what is your values, what is the set, like what's the topic, and then under this one club you can start different rooms in different times and so on. So that's the advantage. I want to say that Clubhouse is probably the biggest revolution since Facebook was found. I think still until today there is no way how to monetize default, like it's not done there yet, and already the app evaluation is like hundreds of millions of dollars, and already there are investors fighting for it. So it's very funny, and it represents a lot about what this age is about. It came in a perfect moment when we are all either sick or on lockdown. We cannot go out, and to listen to another voice, it just makes you feel less alone, because voice is so much stronger, emotionally engaging, more than writing a text or seeing a picture. It's really important to realize that when you're looking at the movie, it is not the picture that makes you cry, it is the sound that makes you cry, that soundtrack. So voice is really the magic that was given to us, and words can mean a lot when you can hear them, not read them. So I think that is where they are so much ahead, and it's the biggest revolution, because you normally wouldn't believe that in 2021 someone can come up with something so simple, and still it haven't been done yet. It's new, so that's why it's revolutionary. And I think Clubhouse in the future will be changing a lot of structures that we were used to, from corporate communication, internal communication, to advertising, to therapy sessions, to fitness coaching, to crowdsourcing, to customer service, and so on and so on. It will change a lot.
Yes, definitely. And I agree with you on the aspect of just connecting with others in general through voice in a time when we're all locked down is amazing. So as you're talking about kind of like how it is taking off, what would you say is the best way for people to utilize the platform for whatever creation they have? Or, I know even like professionals, or corporate professionals, as you had mentioned there, or creators, what's the best way for people to utilize that platform as it is expanding so much?
I think that the best, I will give you an example how I utilize it. So besides, for example, for the arts, when we're talking about art and about creativity, I don't have any need to earn money or any need to exploit it. For me, it's artist exchange, and it helps. I believe it helps. The discussing between artists helps people to awake their creativity and to move forward and design their future career or design their next steps better. So I think this is beneficial, mutual beneficial thing. In the Moonshot Society, which is the name of our room and of our club, is different, because we are it's like a pre-campaign to create a community around the topic before we launch our first Central European conference in March. So normally, if Clubhouse was not here, I would probably 1 month before the conference buy a campaign on Facebook, on LinkedIn, do from GCDecO, do satellites in the city, do radio interviews, go to the morning show on television, and spend a lot of money for advertising that really has not such a great conversion, because from 1,000 people, maybe 2 people are gonna remember and come to the conference. It's not like 50% of people, because it's a special topic. It's really narrow. It's not, So Clubhouse gave me this great new channel, because one, I'm inviting every week different personas. So, for example, this Jan Bednář from Shipmunk is a moonshotter. It's someone who's built with nothing $700 million company. Then I invited Minister of Foreign Affairs because he came, because it's a new thing. Everybody wants to. So we had him there. We had Lucia, who is the founder of Pixel Federation, one of the biggest European startups for games. Their games are played by 100 million people in the world. So every weekend, I have these great guests. They are sharing their stories. They're speaking about impact and about how their companies are purpose-driven, not just profit-driven. And now I think already, maybe already 1,000 people know what Moonshot stands for, what Moonshot is, what can they look forward when in 23rd of March we will launch the first European conference what they can be looking forward to. But this I couldn't communicate through posters. I couldn't do it through Facebook posts. And I would be in the middle of very polluted space where everybody is going to shout over each other and fight for your eyeballs. But even though it's also happening in Clubhouse, the fact that I can talk and explain and bring guests, and there is this exchange that anybody from the audience can come on stage and talk to us and disagree with us, this is an experience the people will not forget. I think they will never forget it. But what I've seen on Facebook last week, I don't remember anything of it. But the voice of people and the discussion that was, sometimes you can have goosebumps because the discussions are so great, that's something not to forget. So that's what Clubhouse brings and adds to what I do.
Sure. And almost like a podcast that you're listening to, but you can interact with it real time and know that there are people there and you can talk to them. And as a listener, I mean, that's super valuable as well. So do you want to play the Moonshot video? And then
yes.
Okay. So let's play
but
that.
I will just say, because before you play it, because people will not understand. So what we did is when pandemic hit, we did one project in Czech Republic, which was Anti-panic. It was for people not to panic. And our goal was to share positive examples of managing the crisis from the leaders that really were on top of things. But then when we were bringing it to the States, because we realized there is this huge racial unrest, like this discrimination that was like the police brutality and so on. And so we said, okay, there is different thing that we need to try to tackle. So we said, let's forget about short-term solutions. Let's switch to long-term solutions. And that's how Moonshot was born. And our first Moonshot in September, that by the way was also supported, and speakers were amazing, like Madeleine Albright, the Secretary of State of the United States, the former secretary, who has roots in Czech Republic, or Jewel Burks, the head of Google for Startups, or Daniel Schreck, the head of Commission for Climate under Barack Obama. So amazing people, and they were all talking about inequalities in respect to access to technology, because there is a huge disparity from which kids have access to technology, and now with the schools home, that's something that's a pressing issue. And then also access to quality education, because that's also really a big problem in the United States. And then inequality caused by race discrimination, and that's what it is about. And the video we are about to show you is about 1.5 minutes of the best moments from this first ever Moonshot platform.
All right, great. Let's do it.
It's one small step for man.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for attending today's Moonshot platform.
It makes me think of Toni Morrison's teachings that this is precisely when artists get to work.
This problem is as big as any pandemic, the lack of internet access. I believe that internet access is like an article of first necessity. We all got to have it if we want to compete.
So I think we need to make sure that white American leadership in business knows that when they bring diverse talent into the boardroom, it's going to make the organization stronger.
If you want to make a big difference, you go to the epicenter of inequity. And to me, Scott High School was the epicenter of inequity in this community.
Tuition, room and board, books and fees will be paid for you, and you will go to college for free.
What do you think that today's global society should be fighting for?
I think we need to be fighting for the humanity of each of us because we're the same.
Majority of the persons in the Black Lives Matter movement are not black. They're white and other people of color.
Right. That's awesome. Very exciting stuff. And it's so neat to see how you're utilizing Clubhouse to bring together these leaders and having these conversations to also give so much access to people on the platform as well to really learn. Like you said, they wouldn't necessarily have known about it before.
Mm-hmm. And also, it's really a place now, while it's still in the beginnings, where you really have access to everybody. You know, just recently we had Elon Musk, joining Clubhouse, speaking about his journey, and that's unique opportunity. It's like being on a conference call with someone you would never meet and hear him in a live, in that moment. So I think technology again is enabling us to do great leaps forward.
Yes, definitely. So I since it is so new, and I love where we've kind of gotten from you that there's not sort of the muckiness of monetizing and of selling. So for creators, we always kind of want to focus on, how to monetize from your creations, but give us a little bit of background on your thoughts as far as like monetizing on Clubhouse, or should we just focus on growing through, being genuine and authenticity. So give me a little bit of your thoughts on that.
I absolutely understand that sooner or later we need to make business, and we can be creators and create things that we love, but also part of my business is done where people come and they say, please create conference for me, please create brand campaign for me, and so on. So I understand it. I give you a few ideas. What could you do on Clubhouse? How to earn? So one thing is, for example, you do a room and you say martini with Yemi from 6, and you can have when you say martini or you say gin tonic, and you can have the brand who is sponsoring the beverage to be sponsor of your regular talk. So you can then have like regular weekly talk. It's like the same like a podcast. That's where you're gonna, in the podcast, it's now a big thing where you're gonna even explain what great furniture in your office is made by this company, and then explain where you can get it, how you can buy it. So you can do the same thing in Clubhouse. You can bring the partners inside of your conversation, where you are just gonna every 15 minutes just stop and say, okay, this room and this talk is brought to you by XYZ, and these are the people who manufacture this and that, and it's great because I'm using it. Why? So if you are close to the brand or the product, you really know about it, you like it, it's not just fake, then it's great to do it this way. And you can either bring them inside of the room, inside of your talk, or you can even bring them into the name of the room. I would be very hesitant into bringing the brand's name into the room name, because people tend to avoid when they see advertising. So it should not be about the advertising. So this is one way. Another way is you can become a host for a company Clubhouse. So if you become a persona in the Clubhouse and you have some following, and for example, I am ambassador of Mercedes-Benz. Yeah, so I am promoting electromobility, sustainable, renewable energy, and I'm driving EQC. It's full electric car. So I could do a talk about renewable energy and about because there are lots of haters of electric cars. There is this big fight like against the regulations, and they don't like that it doesn't have the right sound, and then it doesn't do this and that. And I am really happy for this silent cars with no pollution and so. So I think it's really important for people not to believe in hoax, to have a discussion. So maybe I will go to Mercedes-Benz next week and tell them, hey guys, don't you want to start Clubhouse room about renewable energy? I'm gonna host it, you're gonna pay for it, you're gonna have a great product placement, and you're gonna explain to people something they have misbeliefs,
Sure.
about. And if you want really community to stand behind this, you need to let them doubt you in life. You need to let them tell you, we disagree, this is not true, this is we heard differently. And if you're able to bring good arguments, good evidence-based debate, maybe the people are going to say, okay, we didn't know, maybe we will change our opinion, or maybe not. And this is another way that what Clubhouse can help you with. Another way to monetize would be to have a room that is closed, and you would be able to sell tickets into this room. So you can have a room, you can say, okay, we're gonna talk, you're gonna have some celebrity or some cool topic, or maybe you have know-how that nobody have, and you want to share it. You can do, let's say, 2-3 weeks where you're gonna pitch the topic for free, and you're gonna explain to people like the surroundings of the topics, but you're gonna say, okay, and then the last, let's say that 1 month has 4 weeks. So the first week you discuss the topic and you teach people something. Second week you teach people another part. And for the fourth week, you invite the guru of the topic, the master, and you bring him or her in the room and you say, okay, this last seminar is paid, is invitation only. If you want to go for it, go to the site, pay here, you're gonna get a code, and then, or you're gonna maybe we get your name and we invite you in the room. So this is 3 different ways how to monetize, and there are 1,000 other ways that I can explain to you and speak about, but these are just top of my head the easiest way to do.
Sure. Well, no, that's great advice to how to do that. I would not have thought of that for myself. So that's great. Okay. So guys, we're coming to the top of the hour. If you guys have any questions for Yemi A.D right now, write it in the chat. If there is, I wanted to talk a little bit about the future of Clubhouse too, where you see it going. It's not on Android right now, so maybe some thoughts about that.
Yes, and I think it is also very specific audience because it's not on Android. I think it's very funny, but there is something that people who use Apple have in common, and there is something that people who use Samsung have in common. So there is, it's like people who use electric cars have something in common.
Sure.
So once this barrier is gonna open, of course, Clubhouse will become something else. It's not like it's gonna. For example, just recently, Asians started to realize found out about Clubhouse, and do you know that maybe, I don't know how much, but maybe 1/4 of the world population is in Asia. Like this massive, I don't know. India is 1 billion, China is 1 billion, Indonesia is, I think, 700 million or something. So maybe 3 billion people are in Asia. So once they're gonna find out about Clubhouse, they're gonna come and just change a lot of things in the algorithm and so on. So I just recently started to see lots of rooms with either Cantonese or Mandarin, writing. Invitations, and of course Clubhouse also have to find a way how to deal with it, because why am I seeing Cantonese? I cannot read Cantonese, So these are things that Clubhouse is gonna still work on. But I think in the future, once they're gonna open for Android, that's when a lot of people are gonna come, much more. Now it's still a niche. Let's say it's still niche. So if already now it's the biggest boom, I have never experienced anything that is more like. I just recently went, because I had COVID. I was for 2 weeks in quarantine, and I was so much looking forward to have this immunity and just go out, meet some friends, and it's really like once you survive, you are the COVID survivor. This is what you get for it, This 3 to 6 months of immunity. And I went to there was a baby shower, because I don't know if it's baby shower, but my friend's wife give birth to a baby, and he was inviting me and a few friends.
Okay.
And he had this testing before and everything, and we came there, and the first hour the conversation was about what was said on Clubhouse. So we were either on Clubhouse home alone, or we came together in one room to speak about what was said on Clubhouse. And so it's like some people are really addictive on it, and I have never seen it in such a big frequency to do this. So once, and this is just the beginning. So my predictions for Clubhouse is that it's gonna change a lot of things in our communication. I believe that it's gonna survive, and in 1 year from now, I think it will have the mainstream hype. This hype that we experience is the niche hype. It's hype among the people who are like the artists and the creators and a startup community and people who really like are in the circle. But the majority of people are out of the circle, so it will just come. So I think it's really good for creators to learn about it, get comfortable in the space, get confident in the space, start to use it as a tool, understand how to use it, don't violate it, don't just exploit it, don't flood it with pollution of advertising. Just behave in the space respectfully and try to use it to be creative and to have access and give access to people.
I was going to ask you that, like, what would be 3 things you'd tell someone brand new to the platform to establish and grow themselves in this initial phase once you're signed up? You kind of touched on it, but maybe just, consistency, creating rooms. Like, what would you say the 3 most important things are for establishing yourself right now on Clubhouse?
Don't worry about, or don't be hesitant into trying and testing. The game. The name of the game is iteration. So you just go do something, next day or in a week from there, you do it better, then you do it better, then you do it better. With Clubhouse, it's not about a lot of preparation, prepare everything, and then you can be disappointed. Just go for it. Make sure that you are talking about the topic that is really close to your heart. And when you are in a room with someone else, just go into these rooms, listen to other people, and when you raise your hand, don't do it just because you want to be heard. Do it because you can bring value to the conversation. You have value. You have something to share. I think that's so much that we need to learn to be respectful to the time and to the space. So the first thing is just fail fast, learn fast. That's number 1.
Fail fast, learn fast. I like that.
Fail fast, learn fast. Number 2 is know your shit. Like, know what you're talking about. Just don't talk to talk. Know what you're talking about. And third thing, be smart in creating names and creating the brand and sharing the brand. Just be smart. There is a big competition. But even though there is big competition, there will always be people who will follow you if you are smart. And smart means you don't need to have 7,000 followers in a week. You don't need to have your room booming with 500 people in the beginning. You can start with 50 people, and then you can slowly grow. And as you will get more and more comfortable in the space, your crowd is going to grow. Your following, your audience is going to grow with you. And I think that's the best way. Don't just try to copy or to be vulgar or to be somehow controversial because you just want to jump ahead, take a shortcut, and get those numbers. Because in the end, it's not about the numbers. It's about creating value.
Sure. And being genuine to yourself. People are always going to want that version of yourself that you're trying to be, right?
Exactly.
Okay, well, great. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. Is there anything else you want to talk about as far as like promoting Moonshot or even your online dance classes or anything else you want to say before we wrap up here?
Thank you for this opportunity. Every Monday, I am teaching actually here. I'm teaching a dance class. I have a nonprofit dance school. It's called Dance Academy Prague. And every Monday from 6 p.m. CET, which is midday in New York.
Uh-huh.
And it's fun. There's a few dozens of clients and from kids to adults, and I welcome you to join. If you want to know more, go to www.danceacademy.life. Danceacademy.life.
Danceacademy.life.
Yes.
And you can sign up for that. Did I do that correctly?
Yes, yes. Live, not live, but live like live, but not live.
Live.
I'm pronouncing it wrong. Yeah, live. Yeah. And for the Moonshot, if you're interested in the topics around sustainable future, about impact-driven ventures, startup community, new generation of founders, and actually, if you're interested into who are the moonshotters among us? Who are the moonshotters who aim high and are achieving what is seemingly impossible to achieve? Then you should be in the club of the Moonshot. And how to get in the club? Either go on every Sunday at 5:55 CET, Central European Time. We will have this Moonshot Society discussion. And in March, there will be a conference here in Prague, online, virtual, so you can jump in from anywhere in the world. But in April, there will be another one that's gonna stream from Washington in the American time zone, with amazing speakers, with amazing content, and with some amazing opportunities. Because with every conference, we're not just talking, we're also offering opportunity for people to engage, not just interact, but to maybe get a free access to design thinking workshops done by Google, or to become a part of our impact gallery, become a volunteer, or become a member of a workshop, intertalent workshops. So there are some amazing things that are happening. It's a brand new platform. So right now it's also the great time, like on ClubHouse, also in Moonshot, where it's really pure. And I invite you to join. If you want to see it, it's moonshotplatform.live. And right now there is still the American version, but within 2-3 weeks, the website will be updated and you will get all the new rundown for the year 2021.
Okay, great. And if they want to follow you on Clubhouse, what is your handle there? Is that what it's called, a handle like Twitter?
Yeah, exactly. It's Yemi A.D. A.D. is for Akinyemi Dela. That's my full Nigerian name. So just Yemi A.D. together. It's my Clubhouse name. And also on Instagram, it's Yemi Alchemist. Alchemist like alchemist. I don't know how you explain it.
Sure.
And on all the other ones. And if you have more questions, also on LinkedIn, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you very much for having me, Laura.
All right.
I was happy to
thank you.
Discuss this topic. It's the first time I'm doing interview about Clubhouse, but it's brand new and I love it because I think we need to be fast today.
Yes. No, it's so great. So thank you so much. We loved it so much. Again, you guys can find us on YouTube to watch this replay. So be sure to go to YouTube and subscribe. And next week, we'll be talking to a musician, LA-based country music singer, Kalish Ryder. So that will be Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time. So we'll be chatting with her about how to promote your music online, especially since, limited concerts right now. So thank you again, Yemi. Your information was priceless, and all the best to you. And we'll have all the links on there as well. And we'll see you guys next Monday then. All right. Bye, Yemi. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.